Right. So, hi everyone. I hope you all are doing really good. Uh, if you can hear me well and if you can see me well, can someone put to the chat to unmute and tell bravely that you can hear me well and see me well? Anyone?
Yes, yes, sir.
Teacher කියන්න හැදුවේ කවුද? Anyways, it's
I
teacher, right?
forgot.
That's okay. That's okay. Anyways, we are teachers, right? So it doesn't mean that it's kind of a ladies' word. Teachers is not kind of a ladies' word. It's a common term for anyone, for any lecturer, right? So we are good to start. I think we have completed a part of this prime entry books, which is the cash book, right? So we have to discuss about one of the homeworks that I gave you, right? We'll continue from there. Let me jump in. Right, we have discussed this one. Balancing of accounts. Now you exactly know how to balance of accounts. Right. This is the example that I gave you, or the exercise that I gave you to do when you are working from home. Am I right? Hi, Sir Gildatino. Hi, hi. Love you, Umma. Did you do? Did you try? Did you give a try?
Yeah.
Right. Right. Good, good, good. We'll
Yes.
see how to do this.
Gave
Very
a
good, very good.
try. Yes.
Right, right. Good, good, good. Try and try and try. One day you can. What to do? What you can do one day? You can
Right.
fly. Right.
Fly.
We'll see. Fly, 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 fly. So we are gonna fly today. Right. Exercise 2. Following are the transactions happened within the month of August in Asail's business. Right. Who's this business? Asail's business. They have given the date, receipt numbers, vouchers numbers, and everything, and the description also have been provided. So based on the description that they have provided, we have to prepare the double entries. So what is the requirement? We'll see. Write down the double entries of the above mentioned transactions. So we'll write the double entry also. Along with that, we have to post the transactions to the ledger accounts and balance them off also. Right? Remember, the way how we prepare the cash book is slightly different from the other ledger accounts that we prepare, which means we have some extra columns in the cash book, and it's kind of a bulky as well, not like the other ledger accounts. හරි නේද? Let me go to the chat first. නැත්තම් කිය chat එක බැලුවේ නැහැ කියලානේ. Hi කියලා දෙනවා. Hi. 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 So I said hi to everyone. Huh? Right. We'll continue. So first thing is that we have to write the double entry and post them to the ledger accounts also. So what I'll do is, so since this was given as a homework, I'm not going to prepare the full format, but I'll show you how to do that. Huh? Let me change the background a bit to make it easy for you. Right. Now it became a green board. Right? Yes, you can see. We'll start. Huh? Number 1. So what I'm going to do is, I'll write the double entry in the left side. I'll keep this side for the double entries, the left side, and in the right side, I'll put the ledger account so it will be clear for you. Right. We look at number 1 first. Number 1. If you can't see, just let me know. Asail reinvested a motor car worth 500,000, which means reinvested means this business was started way back, right? So he's reinvesting. Doesn't matter. What we need to do is write the double entries and put those to the ledger accounts as well, right? From the business perspective, not from Asail's perspective, no. From the business's perspective, what the business has received? A motor. What? A motor car. On the other hand, what should be increased on the other hand? When the owner brings something to the business, what should increase?
Asset increase.
Assets increase, that the motor vehicle. What is the other side of it? In the double entry? It starts with the letter C. Cash. Not
Decrease.
cash. Not cash. Capital. When, remember, when the owner brings something to the business, no matter whether it's a motor car, motorbike, cash or anything, when the owner brings something, that asset increases at the same time the capital increases. The capital means what the owner brings to the business, right? So capital is an equity account. Motor car is a which account? Motor car එකේ මොකද්ද? What is the account element? Asset account, right? One of the assets increase, on the other hand the equity increases. The double entry would be, I'll write the first one here, motor car account. Motor car, I'll put it, I'll not put the account, the term account, I'm not going to put that. So can you see? If you can't see, I'll take it with here. Now you can see neither, right? Motor car should be debited by 500,000. At the same time the capital should be credited by 500,000. If you know, if you can remember the elements of accounting, when an asset increases we call it debit, when the equity increases we call credit. On one of the hands the assets increased, on the other hand the capital increased. Asset increase is debit 500,000, capital increase is credit because it's equity 500,000. Now we have wrote the double entry. If we put this into ledger accounts, now I'm not going to prepare the full format of the ledger accounts, right? You know how to do that since you have already done. So I asked you to do this as a homework, right? You should have prepared the full format. I'll just show you how to do this. So first of all, we should have a motor car account. Motor car. And also we need a capital account. Motor car has to be debited by 500,000. Capital has to be credited by 500,000. The description that we should use is the opposite accounts name here, capital. I'm not going to put the dates. Here we have put the opposite accounts name, which is the motor car account. The double entry is also done for the first one. And the ledger accounts are also done. What do you want? YFM charge show. Right? The first one is done. Now you can cross check whether your answers are correct. Huh? Then let's go to number 2. If your answers are not correct, just follow me and do. The second one, obtained a bank loan of 350,000. When we receive a bank loan, from one side, what we receive from the bank? What we receive? Cash, which means now we need a cash book, right? Cash book. On the other hand, the cash assets increase. On the other hand, another obligation increases. Someday we have to make that payment towards the bank and settle that, which means liability has increased. Asset increased, debit. Liability increase should be credit, right? I'll prepare the cash book now, right? We have to have the date, receipt number, description. I'll prepare the cash book here. Since it needs some extra space, I'll take it like this. We have to put the date first and then the receipt number. For the description, we have to have some space. And for the ledger folio also, we need some space. Here the date, I'm coming to the credit side, voucher number, and for the ledger folio, and like this. The cash book should look like this, huh? Cash book. If you can't see, just let me know. Here the date, here the receipt number, description, ledger folio, amount. I put AMT since I have only a small space. Huh? So you can put it as you want me to the, you can put it as cash also. Huh? Harned? Right? Here also we have to have the date, voucher number, description, ledger folio, and the amount. Right. So we'll look at the transaction again. We have obtained the bank loan of rupees 350,000. The business has received 350,000. One of them is cash has been increased. Cash is an asset, so it should be debited by 350,000. On the other hand, we have taken a bank loan. Bank loan is a liability. Increase of a liability is credit 350,000. Cash debit 350,000. Bank loan credit 350,000. I'll take a bank loan account also. Bank loan. Right. I'm not going to put the dates. Huh? The description is a bank loan. Bank loan. We have taken 350,000. I'm putting it here. And the bank loan has to be credited mentioning cash 350,000. You can cross check and put ticks if your answers are correct. Huh? Amaradevge master is Sindhu kiyannalu. If your answers are correct, just put a tick so you know. Try and try. One day you can get the A pass for commerce. Definitely, you should get a A pass. Right? When I am doing the lecture, the probability for you to get a grade is very high. Yeah? One day we can die. Yes, one day we can die also. Reality. Right. So the second one is also done. We'll see the third one also. We'll check the third one also. Paid electricity bill of 5,000. When we make a payment, what happens? Cash will be reduced. Cash credit. Then electricity is a what? What is the accounting element?
Expense.
It is an expense. Expense increase is debit. So we have put it as electricity debit. Electricity account should be debited by 5,000. Since the cash has gone out, cash is an asset, cash decreases, cash credit 5,000. So since we don't have electricity account here yet, I'm preparing an electricity account also. Electricity. Right? Since cash has gone out, I have put it to the credit side, mentioning electricity. The amount is 5,000. That 5,000 has gone out, so we have to credit it. Since this is an expense, we have to debit electricity, mentioning the opposite account's name, which is cash. Done. The dates why I'm not putting is the space is limited for me. Giman harina diyabadige yani kila gila. Let me give a try. Giman harina diyabadige. If I ask you to tell me the song again, just tell me again, nah? If I forget. Right. The third one is also done. The fourth one. You have to remember the accounting element. Huh? Fourth one means 10th of August. Received FD interest. FD means you have put a fixed deposit, which means you have saved your money in your bank. Then the bank will be giving you an interest. Right? So when you receive that interest, your cash balance will increase by 3,000. And that interest is what? Is it an expense or income? You will be receiving it.
Income.
Income, right? Interest, if you receive interest income, income increase is credit, cash increase is debit, right? So we'll put, we have received cash, so we have to debit cash. When we receive, definitely cash should be debited by 3,000. Interest of 3,000, yes. 3,000. At the same time, we can credit the interest income. Interest income should be credited by 3,000. Since we don't have interest income account, I'm going to prepare an interest income account also. Interest income, right? Since we have received cash 3,000, I'm going to put it to the debit side, 3,000. What is that? Interest income. Interest income. And the interest income should be credited because that is an increase of income, mentioning cash. 3,000. 3,000. Arned? Song එකක් කියලා කියලා තියෙනවා. I mean, now it's possible for you to put chats to everyone also. I didn't know that. So my heart is broken. Is it a song or your heart is broken? සැඳ අඳුර ලොව ගලන ඒකද කියන්නේ කියලා කියන්නේ. Just not the my heart. Your heart broke. Why? What happened? Who broke your heart? We'll discuss that also, right? Number 5. I'm going to discuss who broke your heart, right? The number 5. Asel took 1,500 from the business for his personal use. He has taken money out, which means the cash should go out. Cash decreases or cash credits. At the same time, since the owner has taken it away from the business to his home for personal use, there's a particular name that we use for that. What is that? It starts with the letter D. Draw. Draw. When the owner brings something to the business, that is capital. When the owner takes something out from the business, that is draw.
Brought forward.
Not brought forward. Draw. Drawings. Can you remember
Drawing.
Drawings? Yes, good. Right? Drawings should be debited. Cash should be credited. If you can't remember or if you can't identify what should be debited and what should be credited, think what happens to cash. Think what happens to the other side. Right? When someone takes cash out from your business, cash will go down. Then cash credit. Then the other side is anyways debit. Drawings debit, cash credit. Drawings should be debited by 1,500. Cash should be credited by 1,500. Since we don't have a drawings account, I'll prepare a drawings account also here. Drawings. Cash has gone out by 1,500. I'll put it to the credit side, mentioning drawings. Mentioning drawings. Drawings account has to be debited by 1,500, mentioning the opposite account's name, which is cash. Which is cash. Right? Harned? I don't know. Somehow there's a chance for you to put chats directly to me as well as to everyone also. Settings might have been changed for some reason. If not, usually only I'll be getting the chats. We'll see. Right? The 5th one is also done. Then the 6th one. Bought stock of goods for rupees 50,000. We have bought a stock. So remember, in the double entry system, we don't have something called stock. If we purchase something or if we buy something, we call it as what?
Goods.
When we buy, again, when we buy something, we call it as
Goods.
Goods, right? Goods. That is what we purchase, but we have a specific term. I heard that, I think. Again, the term that we use at the time of purchasing is purchase. At the time of selling, sales. Right? In the accounting equation only we had that. stock and everything. But in the double entry system, we don't have anything called stock. When we purchase stock, we call it as purchases. Purchases is an expense. When we sell, we call it as sales. Sales is an income, right? So since we have bought, we have to put it to the purchases, right? Since we have paid money, cash credit, purchases debit. Purchases debit, cash credit. Purchases should be debited by 50,000. Cash should be credited by 50,000, right? So since we don't have a purchase account yet, I'll prepare a purchase account also here. Purchases, right? Cash has gone out by 50,000. I'll put the description as purchases, the opposite account's name, 50,000. And the purchases is an expense, increase of an expense is debit, 50,000. Mentioning cash. Mentioning cash. Check whether your answers are correct. How are you? Hi everyone,
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Instead of electricity, can we put expense also?
No. You know why? In the financial statements, we have to show exactly what that expense is. So we have categories of expense, for an example, rent, electricity, it can be water, it can be salaries, or it can be audit expenses, it can be anything, right? In the financial statements, when we show, we can't take a total as expenses. We have to show the breakdown. In order for us to get the breakdown, we should have this electricity account separately. If there's a rent expense, that expense separately. If there's a salary account, that account separately. So we should have that breakdown of all the expenses, which means simply we cannot put all the expenses together, right? We should have a breakdown. Got it? Can you confirm, Puda? Okay. So simply, if we, right, good. If we just put expenses, we don't know what that expense is. If there's another expense coming, if we put it to the same expense account, it's like the same expense has increased, since we don't know what the breakdown is. Right?
Yes,
So
sir.
likewise,
Thank you, sir.
good, very good. If we have electricity, we have to put like this. If we have a rent expense, we have to put a rent debit, cash credit. Likewise, for each expense, we have to have different ledger accounts. But if it is the electricity number of lines is 2, let's say we receive a bill on the 1st and on the 20th also. Let's say it's the same thing, electricity. If you get 2 electricity bills, both of the bills should go to electricity anyways, in electricity account. The same type of expense should go to the same account. A different type should go to a different ledger account. Right. So this is done. Number 7. Sales on credit on 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, ledger account එක balance කරන්න ඕනේ නැද්ද?
කොහොමද මේකද? Ledger accounts we can balance. Balance කරන්න ඕන. හරි නේද? So remember, the time that we should balance off the ledger accounts is at the end of this. We have to wait until we complete everything to finish. You know why? What happens if we balance off the cash account now? Have we finished putting all the cash related details? Not yet. We don't know whether we have another purchase to come here. We don't know whether they are paying the bank loan or they are taking another bank loan, right? Whether the owner has brought in extra capital or another motor vehicle. Since we don't know, we have to make sure that we wait until the last term or the last sentence or the last wordings that they have given. So we'll complete that. Then only we can start balancing of the accounts. So we can't balance off in the middle.
Okay, sir.
Right, good. Number 7. Sales on credit to Nuan. All right, we have sold stock to Nuan. At the time of selling, I told you what is the account that we should use? At the time of
Sales
purchasing, it was purchase. At the time of selling, it should be which account?
Sales account.
Sales account. Sales is an income. Sales account we have to use, right? So I'll take a sales account also. Sales. Sales. At the same time, since we are selling this on credit, have we received cash? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
We have received or not? We have sold on credit.
You have not received.
We have not received, right? Because we have sold on credit means they agree to pay us later. At the time when we sell it, we will not be receiving cash, which means instead of receiving cash, what is the other type of asset that will increase? The term starts with the letter D.
Debt.
Debtors, right? So if we sell something on credit, to whom do we sell? To the debtors, right? If we don't receive money, we will be receiving later means it will be a receivable for us. So the term that we use for those who to whom we have sold these items is the debtors, right? So I'll use a separate account. But here, since we have sold to a specific person, I'll be having a different account for that person. Sales on credit to Nuan. So I'll put it as debtor Nuan. Debtor Nuan 45,000. Debtor Nuan. I'm not going to put all the debtors together. So I'll be putting it as debtor Nuan. Why? Sometimes there can be another debtor also. What happens if we put all the debtors together? There's a point where we have to put it, but not now, right? We have to keep it as debtor Nuan. Then only we can get to know how much is receivable from Nuan. If we have sold another set of stock on credit to Amal, we know that how much is receivable from Amal. If we put Amal's, Nuan's, Gamini's, everything inside of this, we don't know how much should be received from whom. So for that purpose, we have to maintain different debtor accounts like debtor Nuan, debtor Amal, debtor Kamal, likewise. Sales. Sales is an income and the debtor is an asset. Debtors increase, sales increase. Debtors increase debit, sales increase credit. Number 7, debtors have to be debited by 45,000. Sales has to be credited by 45,000, right? Debtors have to be debited because that is a receivable. 45,000. What we should credit is sales, 45,000. And for the description, you can use the opposite account's name here. Debtor, how the Nuan? Debtor Nuan, right? I have put it as debtor Nuan. Can you see? In the debtors Nuan account, we have to use the description as sales, the opposite account's name. Sales. That is also done. Sales account, good. Nearby. Harid. Right. Next one, number 8. Number 8. Paid salaries rupees 15,000. Now I'll be answering one of the questions, right? When we pay salaries from the business's perspective, what goes out? Pay salaries. Hey, good. Take
Cash goes out.
Cash goes out, which means cash will be credited, salary expense will be debited, right? Cash should be credited, salary expense should be debited. Salary expense account should be debited and the cash account should be credited. I can't remember the amount. Let's see. 15,000. 15,000. So here, what happens if we have maintained only one type of an expense account? Like for an electricity, we maintain electricity account separately. What if we maintain expense account only? This electricity expense as well as the salary expense all will be going to the expense account only. So we don't know how much is the say electricity, how much is the salaries, right? That is why it's a must for us to maintain different ledger accounts for different types of expenses. For different types of income also it's the same, right? We have to keep it separate. Salary expense account, since we don't have an account yet, I'll prepare a salary expense account. Salary expense account. Right. Cash has gone out by 15,000, mentioning salary expense. Salary has to be debited because that is an expense. Increase of an expense is debit, mentioning cash. That is also done. Now you can cross check and tick whether your answers are correct. Huh? I'll keep the screen for a while if you're trying to take down something. If you have any questions, just let me know. So can we write only a one cash book for all the transactions? Yes, yes. Right? Let's say we have another salary expense. It will come here again. Remember, for the same type of transaction, we don't need another account. If the transaction is electricity, no matter whether you have 5 electricity bills, you have to put to the same electricity ledger account. It's similar to the cash also. We don't need to have 2 cash books. We can have only 1 cash book and we can record everything there. Let's say we sell something to debtor one again, it will come to here again. We don't need another debtor one. Right? Remember, if we have a ledger account already and one of that sides of that transaction is relevant to one of these accounts that is already being already existing, so we can use that. If not, we'll be duplicating the ledger accounts. So what's your favorite bike? I like Hornet, but I really like my first bike. I still have that. Sometimes I may come from that bike, Platina 125. So can I do a magic? I can read minds, sir. Right. Look at this. Number 9. Number 9. Right? Bought goods from Sandun. What is this? We purchase, so we buy means that is a purchase. That is a purchase. On the other hand, we have bought from Sandun means, remember, if they are telling that we have sold to a person's name, bought from a person, it means that we have done it on credit. Right? So if it's like this, bought goods for 25,000 silent, there's no name, which means we have done it for cash. If they are telling that it's on credit, definitely it's on credit. If they are silent, but if they are telling a name and the other parts are silent, bought goods from Sandun, why do they need to tell it's Sandun? Because we have bought it for credit. Remember that. Huh? If there's a particular name and the other parts are silent with its credit in cash, if they are not mentioning that, if they are mentioning just a name, remember that is on credit. We have purchased goods on credit. You're right. We have purchased goods on credit. Purchases should be increased. On the other hand, මේ කලින් purchase එකක් කරේ නැද්ද? The previous purchase was just in cash. Huh? They have not mentioned the name. So here, bought goods from Sandun means we have a creditor now. We have a creditor. Right. So we have purchased means purchases increases, purchases debit either 25,000. Purchases debit 25,000. Purchases debit 25,000. On the other hand, when we purchase from someone on credit, we use a specific term. If we sell, that is debtors. If we bought, if we purchase,
Creditors.
creditors, right? Creditors should be credited. Creditors, because our liability increases. Creditors should be credited by 25,000. Who is this creditor now? Creditor Sandun neda. Sanduna neda ape. Sanduna. Oh, Sanduna. Yes. Creditor Sandun. Right? So, should I prepare another purchase account when we already have a purchase account? No. So, look at this and see what is not available. That is the only part that we need to take newly. Right? Purchases is already there. Creditor Sandun's account is not yet there, so I'll put that. Creditor Sandun. Creditor Sandun. We have purchased 25,000 worth goods, 25,000 purchase, mentioning creditor Sandun. Here, we have to credit because our liability has increased. That is payable to Sandun later, 25,000, mentioning purchases. Purchases. Remember, if you already have an account, you can use the same account. Emojis ටික ඔක්කොම ටික දාලා. So in your phone wallpaper, there's a girl wearing a pink long frock in light blue background. Can you see it from my spectacles? If I check this, let me see whether how did you get to know that? Actually, it's not. I had a wallpaper like that earlier, but not now. තද. Favorite car in Sri Lanka? There's a lot. There's a lot ඉතින්. එකක් කියලා නෑ නේද? Right? So as a brand, not the supercars, I like BM and Benz. So purchases is done. Huh? The number 9 was also done. Next one. Next one. Repayment of the bank loan 7,500. If you can remember earlier, right? We obtained a bank loan. At that time, we received cash. Now we are paying that bank loan back by 7,500. What happens to our cash when we pay back? Tell me, what happens to cash? When we
Cash
pay the bank
decrease.
loan, cash decreases, which means cash credit. Since we are paying the bank loan, the liability that we had now will go down. Liability decrease should be debited. Bank loan debit, cash credit. Bank loan debit, cash credit, 7,500. Bank loan debit, cash credit. Right? So where I can use that? Yes. I'll take it here, number 10. You can see the number 10. Bank loan has to be debited. Bank loan has to be debited by 7,500. 7,500. Bank loan debit, cash credit. 7,500. Bank loan debit, cash credit. Right? So where I can use that? Yes. I'll take it here, number 10. You can see the number 10. Bank loan has to be debited. Bank loan has to be debited by 7,500. Has to be debited by right? And cash has to be credited by 7,500, right? So let's look at this. Now, since we already have a bank loan account, we don't need another bank loan account. Since we already have the cash book also, we don't need another cash book, right? Bank loan has to be debited by 7,500. Why do we debit? The liability goes down at the time of obtaining this, the liability increase, so we credited, now we debit, mentioning cash. Cash book will be credited mentioning the bank loan since our cash goes out. 7,500. 7,500. Neda. I'll keep the screen. I'll keep the screen for a while.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
එතකොට සර් මේ ඔය ලෙජර් account එක අර කාඩ් මේ correct form එක කරලා දානකොට අපිට මේ ලෙජර් account දෙකක්ම අදින්න ඕනද? ඒ කියන්නේ දැන් cash කියන එකේ එකට එකයි bank loan කියන එකට තව එකක් අඳින්න ඕනද?
ඔව් දෙකක් ඕන. ඒ කියන්නේ ඩබල් එන්ට්‍රි එක පෙන්වන්න දෙකක් එපේ. දැන් මෙතන bank loan debit cash credit කියලා කියන්නේ මේ දෙකටම දෙකක් ඕන. මේ වෙනකොට bank loan එකක් කලින් දාලා තිබුණා නම් එතකොට ඕනේ නැහැ. මොකද bank loan එකක් එතකොටත් තියෙනවා. එහෙම නැත්නම් අලුතෙන් අනිවාර්යෙන් ක්‍රියේට් කරන්න ඕනේ. බයන්න එපා එක්සෑම් එකේදී මෙච්චර ලොකු එකක් එන්නේ නැහැ. ක්ලියර් නේද? Right, right. Right. Next one. Number 10 is also done. Then number 11. Number 11. Cash received from Nuwan. Can you remember we sold to Nuwan earlier? Now we have received cash from Nuwan. 20,000. So what should be done? When we receive cash, cash will be debited. Cash will be debited and debtor Nuwan will be credited. Why? At the time when we sold it to Nuwan, we debited Nuwan because it became a receivable. Now that receivable asset goes down, right? We can't tell, let's say Nuwan settles everything to us. For an assumption, na? Then when we meet Nuwan on the way, can we tell, hey, Ado, give us our money that you didn't give us? Can we tell that anymore if he has already settled? No, which means the asset that we had gone down at the time of receiving that money, debtor Nuwan's or debtors will be credited. I can't remember the amount, we'll see. It's 20,000. It's 20,000. Cash increased by 20,000. Our debtor Nuwan's balance should go down by 20,000. Cash debit, since we receive cash, cash debit, so it's easy to put. Cash debit 20,000, mentioning debtor Nuwan. Debtor Nuwan. And debtor Nuwan should be credited. Here you can see debtor Nuwan. He has to ideally pay us 45,000. Now he has settled 20,000 means the debtor balance of Nuwan should go down, which means the asset or the receivable from the business perspective should go down. So that should be credited to Nuwan, 20,000, mentioning cash. Mentioning cash. Right? When we already have a account for Nuwan, we don't need another account. Huh? Right? I'll keep the screen. I'll keep the screen. Harid, shall we go to the next one?
Okay, sir.
Right. And give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute, Pudha. Right? Shall we go to the next one? 11th one is also done. 12th one. Number 12. Received rent income 5,000. Now we have received another income. At the time of receiving something or receiving cash, definitely cash should be debited. Cash should be debited. On the other hand, we received an rent, means rent is an income. Rent income account should be credited. All the income accounts should be credited at the time of receiving, right? If you can't figure out whether the income account should be credited, just think from the cash perspective. Cash debit means the other side should be credited, right? 5,000. 5,000. Now we already have the cash book, so we don't need the cash book or any account. But since we don't have a rent income account, I'll put a rent income account also. I'll put it here. Rent income. Cash should be debited by 5,000, mentioning rent income. Rent income. Rent income should be credited by 5,000, mentioning cash, since we have received cash. The 12th one is also done. 12th one is also done. So actually he can read our minds. Magician lagodai. Right? Next one. I think it's the last one, the 13th one. 13th one. Cash paid to Sandun 18,000. We have paid cash, means cash will be credited. So since we are settling to a creditor, creditor balance will go down. So creditors should be debited. Creditors should be debited by 18,000. Think from one of the perspective. When we make a payment, our cash will go down. Cash will be credited. So think from that perspective. Cash credit 18,000. On the other hand, creditors debit. Who's this creditor? Creditor Sandun. right? We have paid 18,000. The first thing that we should do is we have to put that 18,000 to the credit side of the cash book, mentioning creditor Sandun. Creditor Sandun, right? So see, creditor Sandun, we had a liability to pay which is 25,000. Now out of that 25,000 we are paying 18,000. 18,000 cash. That is also done. So we have done everything now. We have put everything. Can you see? Double entries we anyways discussed. So I'll keep this screen like this. Right? These are the accounts that we need. Right? I'll give you a chance. I'll give you a couple of minutes to balance off this, all the accounts, balance of all these accounts. I'll give you a couple of minutes. Huh? You told me that you can read our minds, right? So I'll show one of the, not one, the wallpaper that I had. Then you can see whether you did it right. කලින් පන්තිවල ඉන්ට්‍රස්ට් එක මූ කරන්ට් කාර් කලෙක්ෂන් නෑ ගොඩක් නෑ. Can you see? I'm not sure whether you can see. Can you see this one? 90% of what you told is right. Can you sing now, Gino? Shall we balance off? Right. How to balance off these accounts? So I'll balance off the cash book first and show how to balance this off. Right. So the first thing that you should do is you have to put an equal mark like this. If you can remember, I told you earlier also, and put an equal mark here also. Now tell me which side is higher? Which side is higher? Mono side the higher? Credit side, the debit side?
Debit side.
Debit side. How much is it? The debit side? Here. I'll do one and show. Then balancing off is nothing for you now. Right, let's see the total of debit side. 350,000 plus 3,000 plus 20,000 plus 5,000. Right, the total in the debit side is higher, that is 378,000. Am I right? Is that correct? 378,000. Let me know if I'm not correct. Huh? So here I have to take it a bit down. So because I don't have space to put that balance carried down. $378,000. Now you have to see how much is the difference here. between the total that we have here, which we copied from the other side, and the total here, the difference between this and this, that is the balance carried down, right? And then here the balance brought forward, balance BF. Now, what's the difference between this? Yan Balan?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
If there are 13 accounts, that mean in cash book also there should be 13, no?
No. No. Because not everything is relevant to cash. If something is relevant to cash, then the other side should be there in the cash book. There are some things that were not relevant to cash. Here, number 9, purchases and creditors, no involvement of cash. Right? So we had something else also. The motor car, we have received a motor car and capital, no cash involvement. But for these also, we have ledger accounts. What is involved with cash will be there in the cash book. Everything else will be there in the ledger accounts. There can be extra 1 or 2 ledger accounts if everything is not relevant to cash. If all the line items are relevant to cash, the number of ledger accounts here will be equal to the number of line items that we have here. But not everything is relevant to cash, which means we can't have that numbers tallied. Clear? Clear neda? Right?
Yeah.
So he's using a calculator. Yes, because we had to fast track. Again, what's the difference here? 281,000. 281,000 is the difference. So I'll take it as the balance brought forward here, 281,000. 281,000. Right? And I will balance off another account with a few other entries also. Let's take the bank loan account. I'll balance off this. Everything else you can balance off. You might have already balanced off also. Right? The total here is 350,000. The higher side is in the credit side. I'll copy the same to the other side, which is the debit side, 350,000. Here we have the balance carried down. Here we have the balance brought forward. Balance brought forward means that side is higher by this much. So we are telling that 350,000 minus 7,500 is how much? 342,500. 342,500. 342,500. So what is meant is the credit side of the bank loan account is higher by 342,500. Right? Which means we had a credit, we had a debit. So we balance off and see which side is higher and by how much. Right? The credit side is higher by 342,500 compared to the debit side. This is the meaning of this. Harida. What's your favorite car you own? Own means I had a BM earlier, not now. I sold it. So that was the best experience for me so far. Right? So you can balance off the rest. Then it will be your practice. I'll keep the screen for a while. Then we'll move. Favorite bike is the Honda තමයි. Harneda, shall we move forward now? Shall we move forward? Isra Dabudas? Right. Anyone needs more time? Raise your hand if you need more time. Anyone? I'll keep the screen for another 1 minute. You're asking for some extra time, so I'll keep only for 1 minute and then we'll move forward to discuss about the discounts. I think I saw that bike last week also, neither. I remember. Shall we move? Let's move. Let's progress towards the end of this cash book. Huh? Right, jumping back to the PDF. Jumping back to the PDF. Right. So now we are going to discuss about the discounts. So how many of you have gone to Pamunuwa or Maharagama or PETA or KCC, CCC? Anything? Have you been to any fashion store somewhere with your mom or dad or someone? Right.
Yes,
Most of you should have gone, right? So let's say you go to a fashion store, let's say Maharagam or somewhere. You go with your mom. The seller is telling that I'm gonna sell this to you for 2,000 rupees. Will your mom agree to get that for 2,000 rupees? A typical mothers in Sri Lanka, will they agree to purchase it for that price? Yes or no?
No.
No, never. Right? Mothers are like that. Harid, එතකොට me. For how much our mom or our dad will be asking for that? It's 2,000 rupees. Looks like it's 200. Can you give it me for 200 rupees, isn't it? Our moms are like that, isn't it? ඇත්ත කියන්න. එහෙම නෙමෙයිද? 2000ක් වැඩි 200ක් දෙන්න. හා? එහෙම එක්ස්පීරියන්ස් නැද්ද? නිකන් ගිහිල්ලා බලන්නකො අපිට ඇහෙනවා ඒවා. Right? That is a discount. That is a part of a discount. Right? Sometimes in businesses also we have that. As a business, we go somewhere and we are trying to purchase something. We can see that on the board they have written it as 100,000 rupees. Right? Then somehow we force the salesperson, Machang, somehow we reduce that price from 100,000 to 90,000. Right? Let's say there's a salesperson who is a boy. And then when girls go, the 100,000 price will go down to 80,000, 70,000. Right? එහෙම වෙනව නේද නැද්ද? වෙන්නේ නැහැ. එහෙම වෙනවද නැද්ද? Right? So there's a boy boy is the salesperson who is the owner. Right? If a girl is going to purchase something, that 100,000 listed price will go down to like 60,000 sometimes. There are salespeople like that also. So remember, discounts are also like that. So that is a discount. So we look at this. Discount is the deduction of value from the value of a transaction. Right? Let's say it's 100,000 The value goes down means if we can purchase it with a discount, we'll be receiving a discount. Remember, there are two types of discounts such as trade discounts and cash discounts. Discounts can be put as trade discounts and cash discounts. What do you mean by these trade discounts and cash discounts? These discounts allowed and received both are same. Both are same means not the allowed and received. Discounts allowed means we give the discounts. Discount received means we receive the discount. Right? So my father's friend is also like that, sir, discounts only for girls. Yes, that shop. We'll go with some girls and purchase something, right? So first I'll explain you about trade discounts. Most businesses sell goods deducting a certain amount from the listed price. When you go to a shop, they might have put some extra money there. For an example, if they have listed something for 1,000 rupees, somehow using that chatu type of words, right? So somehow, let's say you try to bargain and put that price down to, let's say, from 1,000 to 900. At the time of purchasing it, now we are going to purchase, now we are in front of the shop, right? The listed price is 1,000, now we are asking it for 900 rupees from that nice ayya. Right? If there's a price deduction from the listed price, we call it as the trade discount. At the time of purchasing, right? The deduction which was made from the listed price is called the trade discount. It was listed, they will be giving a discount. Now we purchase it for 900, right? For an example. This deduction is a trade discount allowed from the point of view of the seller and a trade discount received from the buyer's point of view. It's like this. I'll jump into the whiteboard. Not a whiteboard anymore, neither. So let's say there's a ayya here. Right? There's a ayya and there's a cap also he has worn. And he now done in no ayya. Right? This is the salesperson. And behind him, they have put a list of the prices, the price list. Prices. Let's say item A, they are telling that it's 1,000 rupees. Now this nice Nangi is coming on his way. Konde Digai, right? There's nice Nangi. I'm really cautious when I draw girls' pictures. So I'm not gonna draw it in a, I'll try to make it very simple, right? And a nice girl is waving hands towards this ayya. He's on the way to this side. Now when she arrives here, she can see that the price that is listed here is 1,000. Now what she'll tell? Ayya, the 1,000 price is a bit too much. Can you give it for me for, let's say, 800 or 900 rupees? Let's say the ayya agrees to give this to this girl for 900 rupees. Just for 900 rupees, they have deducted 100 rupees as a discount at the time of purchasing. This is the listed price. If they are deducting something from the listed price, we call it as a trade discount. This the 100 discount that they have given is a trade discount. Trade discount. Let's say this is a shop and this is an organization. From this organization's perspective, they have given a discount allowed. From this perspective, this organization's perspective, they have received a discount of 100, a discount received. At the time of purchasing, if the price has been reduced down from the listed price, we call it as the trade discount. Very handsome. right? So that is trade discount. Look at this again. The value to be recorded in the sales or purchase account should be the net value after deducting the trade discount. Therefore, trade discounts are not recorded in the accounts. මෙන්න scene එක. Right? Have you ever purchased something with a discount? Yes or no?
yes
Yes now. Yes. අතුසන් බල yes now. රෙදි කඩවල තමයි ගොඩක් වෙලාවට පොඩි shops වලට ගියාම 1000ක 800 ගන්නවා 900 ගන්නවා. Right? So, let's say you purchased 1,000 worth or 1,000 listed price something for 900 rupees. So, what is your actual cost that you will be telling? I bought it for 1,000 or 900. What will you be telling? 1,000 කියනවද? Then 900 කියන්නේ 900, right? 900 නේද කොහොමත් කොල්ලෝ මෙහෙමයි ලක්ෂයකමාරේ ෆෝන් එකක් අරගෙන ගෙදරට ඇවිල්ලා අම්මා ආපුවම කියන්නේ අම්මේ රුපියල් 8000යි මේක උනේ නැද්ද කොල්ලෝ එහෙම නැද්ද ලක්ෂයකමාරයි දෙකයි ෆෝන් එක ගන්නවා they purchase it they come home your mom asks how much was it 8,000 right 8,000 or 9,000 10,000 එහෙමනේ කියන්නේ then it will come back at you when your mum asks to purchase the same thing by giving 10,000 to you. Then what will happen? ඊට පස්සේ අම්මා කියනවා එහෙනම් පුතේ අනේ මටත් යක් ගියාල් දෙන්න කියලා 10,000 දෙනවා. ලක්ෂ දෙකමාරේ ෆෝන් එකට. නේ? ඒ වුණාම තමයි ආතල්. එතකන් බොරු කියන්න පුළුවන්. ගෙනලා දෙන්න කිව්ව දවසට තමයි ඉක් ගෑවෙන්නේ. නේද? Right? The discounts that the balaga. Right. The value to be recorded in the sales or purchases account should be the net value after deducting this discount. Look at this. Now, if some amount was deducted as a discount from the listed price, so earlier it was 1,000 and we had received a trade discount. Remember, trade discount of 100. Then the actual cost for this particular item is 900. Remember, if something is a trade discount, get the net amount that you have to pay that you should receive, right? Which is 900. Remember, in the accounting purposes, for accounting, we will be taking only this 900. As soon as we get this 900 after a calculation, we completely forget about these two. Right? If you purchase something for 900, which the listed price was 1,000, after receiving a trade discount of 100, it is 900. You completely forget this 1,000 and 100. If this is trade discount, for the calculation, take it. Then forget it, which means what you should consider is just this 900 going forward. If you have done a purchase, what is your purchase cost? 900. You never tell that it was 1,000 and the discount is 100 because it's a trade discount. Remember, trade discount relevant anything we never take into accounts. In this case, we'll be considering this only 900. හරිනේ හරි එතකොට 1000 උත් නෑ 100 උත් නෑ it's just 900 right this is what should be carried forwarded so this will be our purchase not 1000 or we will never be recording for 900 also go with this so the trade discounts happen at the time of purchasing at the time of purchasing. At the time of purchasing. So you say that you are gonna sing. Did I? Can't remember. Indo kiyu. Hari. Discounts ti iwala kalagi. Discounts iwala kalagi. Right? And then cash discounts. This is different. Trade discount is something that we get at the time of purchasing. Cash discount is something different. Cash discounts occur when amounts are received from the debtor and paid to creditors. Right? Now I'll take the same scenario. I'll take two organizations as scenarios. Let's say there's an organization here. This is an organization. And this is another organization. So this is the seller. Let's say this is the seller. This is the buyer. Buyer කියලා කියන්නේ මේ buyer නෙමෙයි. Peer කියන එක නෙමෙයි. Seller and buyer. They have a listed price of rupees 1,000. Now this organization, I'll put it as organization A and B. Business A is gonna take one of that items and they'll be receiving, let's say they are purchasing it on credit, right? So they have given a trade discount. Somehow we go there and we take another girl with us, right? And when we go to the shop B, we push her towards B salesperson and ask, purchase that, purchase, take a discount, right? Somehow that girl was able to get a discount from this seller. So at the time of purchasing, and she has told him that to the seller that, okay, I'll purchase this now, I'll pay later, right? So they have purchased this for 900 after receiving a trade discount of 100, right? From this 1,000 we have received a discount. After that, the cost would be 900. So here, what should be the amount that we should consider for accounting? This is a trade discount. 1,000, 100 or 900 or all three? Thank you.
900.
Only 900. We forget about this 1,000 and we forget about this 100 also. Right? Let's say we purchase this on credit. Now later, the person A has to pay this to B. Okay? Now it's the time of making the payment. Now it's not the time of purchasing it. Now it's the time of making the payment. At the time of making the payment, now B tells that, B can remember that there was a nice girl. She was 5 feet and 6 inches tall, long hair, blue or brown eyes, fair, and she came from a car. The seller B can remember everything. When this organization is planning to pay that 900, now B tells that, I don't need 900, just pay me 850. Make sure that you send that girl to pay that 850. Now at the time of making the payment, they had to ideally pay 900. But since they gave another 50 discount, how much should we pay now? 850, right? At the time of purchasing, what was deducted from the sales or the listed price was a trade discount. At the time of settling that, if we receive a discount, we call it a cash discount, right? Trade discounts happen at the time of purchasing if we reduce some amount from the listed price. Cash discounts arrives when we settle at the time of settling a payment towards the seller or the creditor, right? Here we received a cash discount. At the time of purchasing, remember, we forgot about both these items and we considered only this 900 for our accounts. That is how trade discounts work. But the cash discounts, remember, we should consider all of these three. Now only we consider that there's a discount. At this point, since we taken only the 900, we forgot about that discount, which means simply we recorded purchases as 900, that's it. We never mentioned discounts if it was a trade discount. But if it's a cash discount, now we record this as a cash discount at the time of settling. Got it? The difference between trade discount is we forget about the trade discount after getting the net. At the time of making the payments, right? So if we are getting a discount, that is a cash discount, we have to record that. So we have to look at it from buyer's perspective now. At the time of receiving this discount, since that is trade, forget about it, that's 900. At the time of making the payment, we have received a discount of 50. So we have to record for this 900, 50 and 800, all the three. From this organization's perspective, they have sold after allowing a discount of 100, which is a trade discount which was deducted from the selling price or listed price. When they sell also, they also should forget it, right? They have to consider only this 900 as their sale from this organization's perspective. And then B is asking for money from A, and they tell that we will be giving a discount of 50 to you, just pay us 850. Now that 50 that the organization B gives, that is a discount allowed from B's perspective. From A's perspective, this 50 is a discount received. From B's perspective, this is a discount allowed. The discount allowed and discount received will be accounted in the financial statements only if it is a cash discount. If it is a trade discount, we never consider that. We take only the net after deducting that discount and put that amount only. Remember, what we take into account is cash discount, but we never take the trade discount to accounts. But for the calculation to get the net amount, yes, we get, then we forget. What we take into consideration for the financial statements, so for accounts, only the cash discount, not the trade discounts. තේරුණා නම් අත උස්සන්න බලන්න. අත ඉස්සුවොත් සින්දුවක් කියනවා අනිවා කියනවා. විදිහ ඔක්කොම උස්සන්න. අත උස්සලා පෙන්නනවා. ආදරේ කකුලත් උස්සලා පෙන්නනවා. අඩෝ. අතපය අතර උස්සලා පෙන්නනවා. ආයි කිසි දෙයක් නැහැ නේද? හරි. We'll see. Cash discounts occurred when amounts are received from debtors and paid to creditors. Cash discounts may allow, you can put your hands down now. Cash discounts at the time of making the payment or at the time of receiving the payment. Right? It can go either way, and it can be a discount that we give or a discount that we receive. Right? At the time of paying only. That is a cash discount. Payment is involved means it's a cash discount. There are certain instances where a condition is included in the invoice to encourage the customer to settle the outstanding balances such that the percentage from the outstanding balance would be deducted from the amount due if the payment is paid within the specific period of time set by the business. What is this? Now, let's say I sold you some goods. I tell you that if you give me money within 7 days, I'll give you a 20% discount. If you settle that money within 14 days, I'll be giving you a 9% discount, right? The discount percentage will go down now. If you settle soon, I'll be giving you a 20% discount. If you settle a bit later, I'll be giving only a 10% discount. If you take 30 days, I'll be giving only a 4% discount. That is the condition. So why am I putting that conditions? With the expectation of receiving cash as soon as possible, I'm putting a condition. If you pay soon, you will get a better benefit through the discount. Right? That is what is explained in the second point, nothing else. Right? This amount which is deducted from the amount due is called a cash discount. ඒකට තමයි අපි cash discount කියලා කියන්නේ. Discounts allowed, you know this, huh? The deduction made on the amount receivable from the debtor is known as discount allowed. Let's say we have to receive 5,000. We tell that no, please keep 500 and pay us only 4,500. We give them a discount we call it discount allowed. When we give a discount to them, which means that is unfavorable for us. We should have received 5,000. Now we are asking only for 4,500. We should bear a loss of 500. So remember, discounts allowed are always expenses for us, right? Because we give them the discount, benefit is for them, not for us. So from our side, the money that we should have received will go down. So that is an expense, right? A separate column for discount allowed is drawn in the debit side of the cash book to record the discounts allowed. So the cash book is gonna change a bit, right? And the discounts received. When we receive a discount, is it favorable for us or unfavorable? When we receive a discount, favorable. So that is a income for us. Remember, discount received is the amount deducted by the creditors from the amount payable to them. So there's a creditor, we have to pay them. We have to pay them 10,000. They tell that give us just 9,000, keep that 1,000 as a discount. We say, hooray, we'll be giving only 9,000. It's good for us. So we have to keep that as an income. Discount allowed is an expense. Discount received is an income, right? Discounts received are created when creditors are paid. We will be receiving that discount only at the time of making that payment, right? If the payment is included, that those are cash discounts, right? Cash discounts can go either way. It can be a discount that we receive or discount that we allow. A separate column for discount received is drawn in the credit side of the cash book. Cash book ke credit side we will be maintaining a discount column. We didn't maintain that yet, right? These discounts columns are considered memorandum columns. Remember, in the cash book, the purpose of having a cash book is to record cash income and cash coming in and cash going out, right? If we are putting the discounts column also, discount columns doesn't mean that we receive cash or we pay cash. That is why we consider that as just a memorandum column that we should be maintaining in the cash book. I'll show you a format also. Since these columns do not serve the purpose of ledger account, remember, even though the cash book is a ledger account, cash book has a dual purpose, dual function. One is a prime entry book, the other one is it's a ledger account also. But that discounts allowed and discount received columns that we are going to put inside the cash book will never serve as a ledger account, only for that two columns. So for that two columns, we have to maintain separate ledger accounts, right? In is do not complete even one entry for the double entry, right? That's what I explained. Therefore, the double entries for these items in the discount column should be entered in the ledger account separately. Right? We'll do this. Recording the discounts in the accounts. Right? The total of the discount allowed column in the cash book should be debited to the discount allowed account which is opened in the ledger. If we have a discount allowed column that we are putting inside the cash book, right, the total has to be debited to a discount allowed account. When we allow a discount, that is an expense. That is why we have to debit it. Increase of an expense is debit, right? Debiting discount allowed account confirms the double entry principle of increase of an expense, right? If we have allowed a discount, discount allowed should be increased, discount allowed should be debited. It's the other side. Credit entries should be made in each of the debtors accounts due to the double entry principle of decreasing an asset. When we give someone a discount, the amount that they are payable to us will go down. If they had to pay us 5,000, if we give a 500 discount, now they don't need to pay us the full 5,000. They have to pay us only that 4,500, right? Then the receivable balance should go down. So for each debtor, Nuwan debtor, Amal debtor, Kamal, all of those balances will go down by the discount that we have given to each. Let's say we have given a 500 discount to Amal, 1,000 to Nimal. Amal's balance should go down by 500. Nimal's balance should go down by 1,000. So we have to credit that entry separately to in the debtors account, right? Like this. Discounts allowed account debit because that is an expense. Debtors account, debtors are receivables, usually the balance is debit. We are crediting now means we are putting that balance down because they have to pay us only a portion after receiving the discount from their perspective. The total of the discount received column in the cash book should be credited to discount received account which is opened in the ledger. Right? There's a discount received column also. Right? We should credit it to the discount received ledger account. Why? When we receive a discount, I told you that that is an income. Increase of income is credit. Right? We have to credit. And when we are making the payment to the creditors, we don't need to pay that full amount to the creditors anymore, which means the liability should go down. So the creditors account should go down. A liability goes down means debit. Creditors account should be debited. Discount received, this is an income account, should be credited. Right? There's an exercise also. I have given an exercise also. So we are going to do this exercise. Tell me whether to do the exercise first and go for the chart show. Go for the chart show and come back to the exercise. Silence means we have to go for the exercise. Exercise the Sindhu. Exercise, right? We'll do the exercise and then go to the song. Ne? Exercise එක කළ සින්දු කියමුද? Exercise එක කළා කියමුද? අම්මෝ ඉල්ලනවා. මම මරන්න හදන්නේ සින්දු කියලා ඉන්නලු. මොකද්ද කිව්වේ මේ? දැන් කියන්න ඕනද? හරි මොකද්ද ඔයාලා song එක කිව්වේ? මොකද්ද මේ I told you that I'm gonna ask you the song that you told me. Master Amardeva's, what's that? Can't remember what that is. Can you put to the chat? I can't remember. You told me something. I'll give you 1 minute. Just decide the song and tell me. So maybe it won't be easy to sing Master Amardeva's song, huh? Or move. Perfect by Ed Sheeran. I'll try. අපි කවුරුද? CC එකට නේද? Right? I'll give you 1 minute. Just decide and tell me. Then we'll go to the exercise also. Huh? Give me 1 minute to drink some water. උස්සංගොඩ කඳු මුදුල කියන්න කියලත් කියනවා. මොකද අර උස්සංගොඩ කඳු මුදුල සිසිල ගෙනෙන ඒකද? අයියෝ. හරි බලමු. එන ඒක කියලා වැඩේ අපි එක්සයිස් එකට යන්න. තමුණක් තියෙන්නේ. එන ඒ කියන්නද? මට තාලේ මතක නැහැ. මේ කාටරි පොඩ්ඩක් කියලා පෙන්නන්න පුළුවන්ද? පර්ෆෙක්ට් එකක් කියන්නම් එඩ් ෂීරන්ගේ නේද? පොඩ්ඩක් කියලා පෙන්නන්න පුළුවන්ද කාටරි මේ කියලා පෙන්නන්න කිව්වම බැහැලු. right හරි අපි එක්සයිස් එක කළෙමුද එහෙනම්? එහෙම කරමු. අපි මේ කරලෙමු නේද? So it will be easy. So then we are done නේ. Right? එතකන් සින්දු ටික තෝරන්න. There's a lot of requests. We'll do this, we'll do the exercise and then come to the song. Right, we'll do this, then we'll come to the song. Hurry. එතකන් තෝරලා දාන්න. So we are going to do. Right, exercise. Sandun's business has the following balances as at 1st of March 2022. The debtors balance, the creditors balance and the cash balance has been given. Right, debtors balance, creditors balance and the cash balance has been given. And they have given some extra information also. Cash received from debtors this much, discount deducted was 400. Cash received from debtors to settle 10,000 subject to 5% discount. So there's some extra information like this here. So we are gonna write down the double entries for these transactions and then post the transactions to the relevant ledger accounts and balance them also. So then we are done for the day with regard to the cash book. මතක තියාගන්න. බලු බලු අනේ බැලු බැලු හැම තැනම සිහිනෙන් වගේ. බලු බලු වගේ දැක්කේ. Right. So here we'll start. We'll do this and jump back to the YFM chart. Right. So here the first thing that we would need is, so I'll put the double entries also in the left side. So since we need to put all these things in the ledger accounts, since they have given some balances, debtors, creditors and cash. Now this is the format of the cash book. If we include the discounts allowed and discounts received columns also, right? Only change would be you will be having a discount allowed column in front of the amount column, right? Look at this. I'll prepare a cash book. Can you see this? Yes. So let's say this is the cash book. Here we have to put the date. Then we have to put the description. And then here we have the ledger folio. And here in front of the amount column, now things will be different, right? I'll tell you, don't draw it yet. Date, description, ledger folio, discount and the amount, right? Look at this very carefully. I'm going to show you the format of this, right? So this is the cash book. Earlier, yes, you had the date here, no problems, you'll be having it again. The description also, yes, you have it. Description. The ledger folio is also, it's there. And you can have the receipt number and the voucher number also here. Receipt number here. And here, earlier we had the amount. Now we are breaking that into two pieces like this. If we have allowed the discount, the discounts allowed will be put here. And then the amount received will be put inside the debit side. So here we'll be putting cash. Earlier we didn't have this discount allowed column. Instead of that, we had that amount column. Now we are changing it. We have the discounts allowed column and the cash column. If we have received, let's say, from a 5,000 debtor, if we have received 4,500 after allowing a discount of 500, cash that we will be receiving is 4,500, discount would be just 500 likewise, right? And here again we'll put the date, voucher number, description, ledger folio, and in this side we have discounts allowed, in the credit side we have discounts received, and then the term cash, right? This is how we have to do it. Take down the format to the ඉරි තැලුණු වලා කියන්න කියලා කියනවා. පියමැන්නේ කියලා කියනවා. අකුරට යන්නම් මලක් කඩන්නම් කියලා කියනවා. Right? Prepare this. And then since they have given the debtors account also, I'll prepare the debtors account also like this. The full format I'll be putting. So we can put the date. So I'll put the midpoint here. I'll put the date. Then description. For the ledger folio, I'll keep some space. And for the amount. Date. For the description. And for the ledger folio. And for the amount. This is the debtors account. Debtors account. Debtors account. Right? And I'll put the creditors account also. I'll take it here, creditors account. I'm taking the full format for this one. Creditors account. Creditors account. Arned, draw these formats, then we are going to start. Draw this, huh? Date, description. Here we can put the ledger folio, and here we can put the amount or cash. And here the date, description, ledger folio, amount. Creditors also the same. Date is the ledger account. I have used the full format. That's the only difference. Description, ledger folio, amount. Date, description, ledger folio, amount. This is the full format of a ledger account. Huh? Shall we start? Raise your hand if you need more time to draw the formats. Raise your hand if you need more time to draw the formats. Anyone? All right, I'll keep the screen. I'll keep the screen. I'll keep the screen. Once you're done, you can put your hands down. I'll give you another few seconds, then we're going to start. Huh? Right, we are going to start. So here in the PDF, they have given some opening balances, right? At the start, they have a opening balances means debtors, they have a 40,000, creditors 50,000, cash 30,000. Right, I'll put cash 30,000 first, which means at the beginning, they had the balance brought forward. Balance brought forward. Balance brought forward was 30,000 neither. Either 30,000. So we had the balance of 30,000 at the beginning. If there's an opening balance, this is how we have to put. Balance brought forward 30,000. There was a balance brought forward in the debtors account also, which means from the previous year, what is the balance that we have taken to this year, right? Debtors 40,000. Debtors 40,000. Since that is an asset, we have to record it in the asset side, which means the debit side. Creditors 50,000. Creditors is a liability. Liability balances should be in the credit side. So the balance brought forward, I'll be putting in the credit side. Balance brought forward, which is 50,000. 50,000. The double entries I'm not going to put. So it's easy, double entries anyways. Hurry there. This is how we have to record the balance brought forward, right? Since this is the month of March, I'll put the date as 1st of March. 1st of March. 1st of March. So the only difference that you can feel here is in the cash book, where we have a separate discount allowed column and a discount received column in front of the amount column. That is the only difference, right? Haridha, shall we start? Then they have given a few transactions. 5th of March, cash received from debtors 7,600. Discount deducted was 400. How to record this? How much should we have received? How much we should have received if we didn't give the discount? Here.
7,600.
No, if we didn't give the discount, in this case, we have given the discount. After giving the discount, we have received 7,600. If we didn't give the discount, 8,000. So we should have received 8,000. From that, we have given 400 as a discount, and we have received only 7,600. So this is how we are going to record it. So on the 5th of March, we have received. So the opposite side of this is debtors. From the debtors, the actual amount of cash that we have received should be put under the cash column, and the amount of discount that we have given should be put in the discounts allowed column. Got it? Right? So here what we actually receive 7,600 in the cash column, and the discount that we have allowed in front of that. And the credit side should go to the debtors account, right? On the 5th of March, they have paid us cash only how much? 7,600. Debtors will go down by 7,600. And there's another portion of 400 that we have given them as a discount. Because of that, it's like they have settled that for total 8,000, which means by another 400, their balance should go down. What is that? Discount allowed. 5th of March. But if you can remember, we don't consider this discount allowed column as a ledger account, which means we have another ledger account for discount allowed. I'll put it in the usual normal T format, right? We should have a discount allowed account. Right? We have credited that. So in the discount allowed, that is an expense. So we have to debit it to the discount allowed column, which is 400. The opposite side is in the debtors account. Now you can see how much have we received? 7,600. We debited cash, credited the debtors account. And the discount portion, since that is an expense, we debited discounts allowed, we credited the debtors account. This is how we should continue. Take down this part. Haridha, shall you go to the next one? So here I have prepared the full format. I have used the normal format here for the discounts, right? Right, the next one. In the first transaction that they gave, it was very clear that 7,600 is the amount that we received after giving a discount of 400. Next one, cash received from debtors. Now the way how they have given the next transaction is different, not the same way like the previous way. Cash received from debtors to settle 10,000 subjected to 5% discount. Receiving means what we receive in cash. Settling means the total amount of debtors that should go down. including the discount. So here cash received, okay, from debtors to settle 10,000. Settle 10,000 doesn't mean that they pay 10,000. Settle means they can settle using a discount and the other portion with a payment. We have given a 5% discount on top of this 10,000. How much have we received then? And what is the discount amount? To settle 10,000, we have received money. It doesn't mean that we have received 10,000. They have settled subjected to 5% discount. So what is the discount that we have given for that 10,000 worth debtor? Yeah. Debtor balance was 10,000. Here. Yaru, tell me answers. Huh?
50,000.
50,000? 10,000 into 5% is how much? $10,000 into 5 divided by 100?
5,000.
5,000. It's 5,000 if this is 50%.
500.
500, which means we have given a discount of 500. Then how much have we actually received? 9,000.
9,500.
9,500. To settle this 10,000, we have given them a discount. After that discount, they have given us money. Means from this 10,000, we have given a discount of 5%, which is 500. We have received only 9,500. Right? So this can be given in this way also. The date is 8th of March. 8th of March. From the debtors, we have received only 9,500 and the remaining 500 has been given as a discount. The 10,000 settled means by 10,000 the receivable should go down. Settle means the amount that is go down. Pay or receive means the actual cash amount that is being transacted, right? So here debtors will go down by 9,500 first. That is the payment that they have made. So we can mention it cash as cash, 8th of March, right? And the other portion of 500, which is a discount allowed, we have to consider that as a discount allowed here that we have given to debtors. Since discount allowed is an expense, we debit it. By that 500, the debtor balance should go down because they don't need to pay us because we have given a discount of 500. So we credit it. On the same day, 8th of March, mentioning discounts allowed. Discounts allowed. Right? That is also done. There are different ways how the examiner can test you. When they give the description, they'll be having different descriptions. Harned? Right. Next one. On the 10th of March, cash paid to creditors of 4,700 and discount received was 300. How much have we paid? 4,700. We have received a discount of 300. So it's easy now. So we have paid it to creditors the 10th of March. We have paid it to creditors. We put into the cash how much we have paid, 4,700. The amount of discount we have to put here, right? Since we have made the payment, our creditor balance should go down. So we have to debit it. 10th of March. Mentioning cash, how much of cash have we paid? Just 4,700. 4,700. And there's a discount that we have received. And we need a discount received account. Discount received. Discount received is an income. So we have to credit. 300 has to be credited here and debited to creditors account because by this 300, the creditors also will go down. We'll put the opposite accounts name. Creditors here. discounts received here. Discounts received here. Right? Discount received is an income, so we credit. Since at the time of receiving a discount, our liability goes down. Liability going down is debit. That is why we have put it to the debit side of the creditor's account, credit side to the discount received. This is an income. This is the liability that has gone down. Right? I'll keep the screen and we'll go to the last one also. Then we are done. Harid, last one. Last one. 15th of March. Cash is paid to creditors to settle 12,000. Settle 12,000 doesn't mean that we pay 12,000, right? Has been subjected to 10% discount. We had to pay 12,000 when we receive a 10% discount. What is the discount? 10% from 12,000?
1,200.
Here the 1,200. We have received a discount of 1,200 from them, from this 12,000. So we have paid only 10,800, right? So here we have to record that in the cash book. Since we have discount received column, I'll put the date 15th of March. We have paid to creditors. Discount that we have received is 1,200. The difference between the 12,000 and this 1,200 is 10,800. So this is how we have settled the creditor. We have paid 10,800. The remaining 1,200 we have received a discount. That is how we have settled that full 12,000. Right? The cash portion 10,800, creditor balance will be debited because creditor balance will go down. Creditors are liabilities. Liability going down is debit. 15th of March, mentioning cash. The cash portion is recorded. Now there's a 1,200 discount that we have received. Discount received is an income, so we credit it to the discount received account mentioning creditors, because the opposite account is creditors. The creditor balance will go down because when they give a discount, they will not be asking for it again. The creditor balance will go down, so we have to debit it. 15th of March, discount received. Discount received 1,200. This is how, if you look at this 10,800 and 1,200, you can see that the total amount that we have settled is 12,000. Right? Now we are done. That's it. Everything is put neither, done neither. Right? We'll balance off the accounts. Then we have balance of the accounts. Huh? Remember, when balancing of the accounts, we will be taking the discount columns total only. We will not be putting balance carried down or balance brought forward for the discount allowed or received column. Huh? Look at this. When I do, you can check. Huh? We can balance off all of these. Right. Now you can take the total of the discounts column here, 400 and 500, altogether 900. Right? Altogether 900. So don't take that and copy to the other side. We don't take the higher side if we consider the discounts allowed and received column. These are just for the memorandum purposes. Columns. Right? See, remember, we never balance off this discounts column. Just take the totals. Discount column here 900, here 1,500. Right? We don't balance off this. We balance off only the amount column, which is the cash column. right? So we'll see which side is higher. Debit side is higher, 30,000 plus 7,600 and 9,500. How much is it? 0, 0, here 1, 7, 47,100. Am I right? Can someone confirm? 47,100. All right. Then we can see the difference between these and take that as the balance carried down. Balance carried down would be the difference between this and these two, right? Shall we take? It should be 31,600. So the balance brought forward is 31,600, which means the debit side is higher by 31,600 than the credit side, right? Then take the totals of the others also. So here, which side is higher? The 40,000, the debit side is higher. I'll copy the same to the other side. Remember, the balancing of part is not applicable for this discount allowed and discount received column. There, what we do is just take the totals, right? Remember that. Hurry. So we can take the totals as 40,000. Now you can get the balance carried down here and the balance brought forward here. Balance brought forward here, right? Take the difference 7,600, 400, 8,000, 8,000, and here 10,000, 18,000. So the difference should be 22,000. Balance carried down would be 22,000. Balance brought forward would be 22,000. We'll do the same for the creditors also. Which side is higher? This side, which is 50,000. We'll copy the same to this side also, 50,000. 4,700 plus 300, 5,000. Here it was 12,000. Altogether, the total here was 17,000. The difference between 17,000 and 50,000 will be the balance carried down, which will become the balance brought forward here. You know the balancing of part now. Huh? So it should be here the 17,000 and 50,000, 33,000. 33,000 is the balance, which means the credit side is higher by 33,000, right? And if you balance off this also, here 900, here 900, there's nothing here. So the balance carried down here would be 900. Balance brought forward here would be 900. Here, the altogether it's 1,500. Take the same here. The balance carried down here would be 1,500. The balance brought forward here will be 1,500. You have completed the question, right? The take home part here is that you can have a discount allowed column in the debit side in front of the amount column. For the amount column, we can call it as cash also. The discount received column will be there in front of the amount column in the credit side. Here, when we take the totals, we just take the totals of the discounts allowed and received columns. So we have to maintain two separate ledger accounts for that columns, right? And here we don't take the discount columns for the balance carried down and balance brought forward, only the cash or the amount columns. Simply, we take the total here and total here when it comes to the discount columns, right? I'll keep the screen for 1 minute so you can take down if you have missed anything. Please raise your hand if you need more time, Putha. Raise your hand if you need more time. All done. Raise your hand if you need more time. හරිද? එහෙනම් පස්වාන් දහසට බුදුවන්න දේවයන් වහන්සේ සින්දුව ලබන සතිය කියන්නම් since I have to hand over the studio. නේද? ලබන සති සින්දු දෙකක් කියන මට මතක් කරන්න මං කිව්වා කියලා. අද මිස් වෙනවනේ. Okay? Can you hear me? මෙහෙම කරන්න එපා ඉතින් පිට තමයි ඈ. ලබන සති දෙකක් නෙමේ මෙතනත් ගහනවා ඇටැක් ෂෝ එකක්. කොහොමද ඒක? ඇටැක් ෂෝ එකක් දෙන්න ලබන සති. Right? Mega Blast වගේ තමයි. Right. So that's it. So the takeaway from today is that you'll be having a discount allowed and discount received columns in the cash book. That's all. Everything else is just the elements of accounting, debits and credits. Right? Thank you very much, everyone. We are going to sign off. Next week will be very fun because we'll be discussing petty cash, which is an interesting part, not like cash book. There's interesting stories to discuss there. Right. Thank you very much. Have a great week, everyone. God bless you. Good Sarnai. Bye-bye. We are meeting next week.
Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye, goodbye. Thank you.